into our meditation posture. Someone is not muted. So if you could make sure everyone's... Patrick, you're not muted. There you go. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you. So again, if you're sitting at your desk, feet flat on the floor, have your feet in a parallel position. Really try and feel the soles of the feet through the earth. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And lengthen the spine. Imagine it's a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. Just lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And the head is very slightly tipped forward. The eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. And bring your awareness to the ground of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the rest of the face, the back of the head, the neck, the throat, the chest, your whole body, all the way down to your feet and toes. Just be nice and relaxed, but yet also alert and nicely aligned. And then just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils at the outside of the nostril. Just notice the breath, the sensations there. If there is any sound in your environment, just allow that sound to be there. Could be animals or people, traffic. And then bringing to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones. These people we have very deep and profound relationships with. And there's those people in our life we don't like very much, are a bit threatening to us. And then there's those strangers. Bearing in mind all these different groups could change place at any time. Maybe they did. Maybe it happened this month, this year. Then think, oh, they're all equal, these people, in their wish to be happy, the wish to be free from suffering, and in having this extraordinary capacity, or this Buddha mind, this Buddhahood. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity with our mind. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We're experiencing everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of future suffering that we will experience. So it makes sense that logically to remove the karmic seeds, will they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, and because I do not want the future suffering, I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think again, I'm sick of this suffering, and then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we take refuge, we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify. So just like medicine. So it's not that we're needing him to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his instructions, his methods, his medicine. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made a radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those beings who have harmed you, and we just have compassion for them because they will suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the remedy, and this is where we're doing the actual practice. We're taking the medicine. So we start with the body and imagine purifying the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body, oh, excuse me, is now completely purified. and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with the body. So the next is a purification of speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends this powerful nectar from his heart chakra again. And again, it arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawakama Sutame Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech. So that every single syllable that falls out of your mouth is a benefit to not only yourself, but to others, sentient beings, animals, birds, humans. So the next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room, you flick on that switch and the light instantly dispels the darkness. Imagine the same happens to your mind. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness, grasping, depression, violence, anger, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ahom Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. And to be delighted that all your delusions, which is the source of all of our own suffering, our own delusions, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, just imagine these are totally purified. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification, even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And you can imagine that Vajrasattva very happily sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Om Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya Vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya Vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya Vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya Vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya Vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya Vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajabala mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya Vajrasapa dina patita dita meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta mebo sawasidi mimiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam shriyam karuhum ha ha ho bhagawan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is our really crucial step. This is where we make a decision to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind, or to refrain from harming, even if it's just to think about it. So we have to make a decision that this is something that we want to actually do. So let's just meditate on that for a minute. We actually can do this maybe for 2 or 3 minutes. Think of something you want to work on. Make a decision that you to refrain from harming the body, the speech, and the mind. This determination to not do again is what gives us strength to change. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And so a little bit as recommended by Rinpoche on emptiness. So you think in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. And this way we think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me, the way I perceive things, the way I look at things, may not be accurate, may not be the way they really exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, and also to Lorraine for her concerns about blood traumatizing her. And think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. His Holiness of Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, and incomparably kind, Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Fill us Phyllis, hang on, wait, what? Phyllis is saying something. Israel. Phyllis, did you have a cardiac event today? Is that what you're saying?
No, Israel had a cardiac event today.
Israel. Israel from Tuptenobling.
Yes,
okay, I
and he's
understand that.
asking for prayers for the dying. He's been on ICU for a month already and looks like he's going. So prayers for the dying
okay.
for him.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, and just many prayers for precious Israel. I tell you, he was such an incredible volunteer, this one. There with his truck and his strength, hauling things around. Okay. Oh, this is the one by His Holiness Dalai Lama, I think, right? Swift return prayer for Rinpoche. Peerless teacher, assembly of children, the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratikya Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, together with your lineage, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please now bestow the virtue and goodness to accomplish this prayer. In holding and spreading the Muni's precious complete teachings, through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable venerable Guru, to you I make request. Sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, while striving exclusively for the welfare of the victorious one's teachings and mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. At this I lost hope. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of the mind generation of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a new reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please live long. Don't forget you share a beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody. Lots of love and welcome to anyone who I didn't say hello to in the beginning. I think it may be Barbara and Chamomile and Victor. Okay. Thank you very much for hosting, Shayla. Good night, everybody, and I'll see some of you tomorrow.